horrified look before I realize a second too late that I should run and grab it. It's possible that I'm not cut out for babysitting. I dash over and pick up the cup. It's sticky. Ugh, gross. I'm so sorry. He didn't realize. I gesture back at the toddler. The man glares at me and turns away. Diedrich, no throwing, Dr. Reese says in a sing-songy voice when I return. Sage, let me make the formal introduction. This is Diedrich. Her wide, doting smile is so different from the serious face of the medical researcher I worked with in London. I hand him back the cup. Nice to meet you, Diedrich. He throws the cup again. I try to pay attention to Dr. Reese's commentary as she drives us through Amsterdam to their place in the Jordan district. People stroll down the sidewalks, bikes whiz past, and the gabled rooftops of narrow buildings loom over us. Unfortunately, my brain is fuzzy from lack of sleep. I'd planned to take a sleeping pill and get a full night's rest on the plane, just as I had in the fall, but the last 6 months have shown me it's impossible to sleep when a baby is crying. I've spent those months living with my mom, my older sister, Wren, and Wren's 1-year-old daughter, Maddie. I'd originally thought I'd have the house to myself this year, since Wren would be gone and in college, but plans changed when Maddie came into the picture. Coming here means I'm basically switching up one kid-centric house for another, but Diedrich is 3, so at least he won't be up all night crying like an infant. How are things at the lab? I ask, because I know this topic of conversation will keep me awake. She brightens at my question. They're going really well. It was a bit of a transition back after my sabbatical, but we're in the flow of things now. Actually, we've just started a really exciting collaboration with another researcher looking at the psychological effects of cancer diagnoses for patients and their families. I have to stop myself from cringing. I know all too well how the diagnosis can affect families. I don't say that to Dr. Reese, though. I don't like talking about private stuff with people, particularly not my boss. She turns to me, her serious researcher expression back. Once you get settled, I'd love some help pulling together the references for a paper we're working on, and I'd like to see a rough write-up of what you're thinking for the Berlin poster. Also, I want to start training you in data abstraction immediately. Katina is overwhelmed right now, so I'm going to rely on you for that. I nod eagerly. Yes, absolutely. Joy blooms in me. This is the real reason I agreed to spend my summer babysitting. At the end of July, there's a huge international oncology conference in Berlin. Dr. Reese is giving a talk and also had several posters accepted, including one on the research I helped conduct last fall. Ever since I found out, I've been drooling over the idea of getting to attend with her and present the poster. I'm imagining it'll be somewhat similar to the state science fairs I've attended, where each person creates a poster to explain their research and then describes it to the attendees. Except for the small detail that I'll be surrounded by some of the most well-respected cancer researchers in the world, instead of kids who still need to be dropped off by their parents. Presenting at a conference like this is more than most students will do after 4 years of college, let alone before they've even moved onto campus. This kind of experience could seriously help my chances of getting into a top med school once I finish my bachelor's at Johns Hopkins. The problem with the conference was money. I'd never make enough shelving books at the library to cover my flight and hotel in Berlin. Particularly now, since Mom has been putting every penny into helping Wren and Maddie. Babies are expensive. I'd given up on the possibility until Dr. Reese asked if I'd be willing to nanny in exchange for her flying me to Berlin for the conference. She pulls into a spot in front of a brick canal house with a shiny black double door. Here we are. The street is charming, with big trees that extend over the canal and arched bridges that connect this side with the opposite. Bicycles are strewn everywhere, locked to posts and leaning against trees, and all the narrow houses that line the canal have decorative gables on the rooftops in various shapes. It's just like in the travel guides. I love the bell gable on your house. She shakes her head. You never miss a trick. I should have known your wide array of knowledge would extend to architecture. I smile sweetly, knowing everything is my specialty.